Okay, so we have a big box right here. It's a 72-inch ceiling fan from MaxSlack, and I'm just gonna show you the parts here, obviously, and then I will show you when it's installed, because it's kind of useless trying to build it right here. It's not gonna happen. And first things, well, user's manual, I highly suggest you go through it first, is there is parts of this installation that requires you some electrical knowledge, and as a rule of thumb, of course, always start by flipping down the breaker to that circuit or that room to make 1,000,000% sure the electricity is not flowing through. After that, it tells you what tools you need. Obviously, a ladder, screwdriver, pliers, wire strippers. You can optionally use a drill if you need to redo the holes. In my case, I already have the mount, so we will be replacing a normal standard ceiling fan with this fan. So it'll be a little bit easier in my case. Now here is something that you have options. This is the picture and all that. It's a beautiful piece, let me tell you. But here you have this extension. So in case you're installing it on a very high ceiling, or you want to make it tilted, or if you want to install it on a pool house outside, that usually ceilings are, you know, with a peak quite high, you can put it with this thing right here. In my case, I don't need this one because I'm gonna put it flush with the ceiling, but they have this option. You can have it. And let me just go through just to show you a few parts, and I'll go install it, and I'll show you real quick too what fan I'm replacing with this one. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna show you all installation one by one, spot by spot, because that's a waste of your time, because their user's manual is actually much more clear than I would be able to explain it. So let's start with the bag of the receiver. This is the wireless receiver for the remote, and that's what we have to install. The wires are on the back here. It's pretty simple, just wire to wire, but don't forget the receiver, otherwise the remote will not work. And that's standard for all remote controlled fans. And besides that, we have the dust collecting and preventing pads that go on each fan blade. Now this is something that I am really excited to see on a fan, because that makes life much easier. And yes, every fan blade has one of these. Beautiful. Besides that, we have something here in this cubby right here. We have the screws, you have the big screws for mounting, you have everything that you need. You have a few sticky pads, you have the screws for the fan blades, and everything you need is on this little bag. That's how easy it is. And don't be scared by the size of it. The installation is standard ceiling fan installation, so it's not anything that you have never seen before if you've installed fans before. Here's the cover for the light. When we get to that point, this will take a minute. It's some kind of a plastic. It's light. I like that because you don't want anything too heavy on the ceiling. And don't ask me how I know that. And that's the shorter tube that you can stick from the ceiling to make it shorter if you need so. Very thoughtful. They give you both sizes. And on the side, we have the mount itself with the flush that goes on it to cover, or like a cover, all metal. And I have this part already installed on my ceiling, but if you don't have it, it comes with one of these already. And this is very beautiful because I like how they implemented the bridge here. Unlike the older ones, they're kind of closed in one side. This one is open in both sides, so you can route wires. That's why that's important to me. And of course, you have the screws here that you can put it through to, when we're at that point. I'll put it, I'm not sure if it'll be on camera or not, but that's how it goes. Tighten these two screws and look, goes flush with the ceiling so you don't see it. Beautiful implementation. That's the light. Oh, that's a nice ring. Anyway, that's the light and the motor in one. Let me just take it out real quick. So that's your LED array. You can change colors, obviously. It's all built in here. And on the back, you have the wires. It looks, as I told you, looks intimidating, but when you start installing it, there's nothing intimidating about it. It's actually quite straightforward installation. Just as I said, do not forget this thing right here. This is what has to be in between these wires and the mains that come from the ceiling. That's your wireless remote receiver and controller. And as far as I managed to learn about this one, it has a weight or torque sensitivity. So for example, let's say you installed it and you haven't put the propellers yet on it, it will not start spinning even if you turn it on, because it has to detect enough weight on the propellers in order to spin. And that is done so it prevents you from burning the motor, because of course to lift all the big propellers that this one comes with, if you spin the motor just freely, you might run the chance of burning it. That's a good implementation right there. Let me put it back in here really quick, because we have a lot more to go through. And I'm just showing you these parts, so in case you want to get more familiar. Oh yeah, that's where the light thing goes on. Just spins like any other fan. There's really nothing to learn about this one. What else do we have here? Yep, the flush mount for the top when we get to that point. That stays on top on the other side to hide the junction. And then we have the smaller pipe that is the one I will be installing it with. It's this one right here, because that's the closest to stay flush with my ceiling. Okay. And besides that, we have the propellers right here, or what's called fan blades, and the same thing. Right here, they don't propel anything. That's probably more accurate to say fan blades. Look at those things. Let me measure it just really quick for you to show you the exact measurement, even though you count from the part that it peaks out usually, but I'm gonna go corner to corner. And this one is exactly 32.5 inches or 83 centimeters, almost a meter. That is some length. And these are all of them in one place here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blades. Actually, they don't feel super heavy. That's nice. That is really nice, because it makes the motor work easy. Okay, and besides that, there's really nothing else that should be here, because that's all a fan has, so I don't expect to have forgotten anything else. Some screws might be here. Nope, they're not screws. And next thing, I'm just gonna go install it. So I'm gonna show you real quick what I'm taking off the ceiling and put in this one instead. So I'm gonna go do just that, and I will most likely show you the finished product and how it looks in your ceiling, whether it's outside in the porch, inside the pool house, in the garage, inside a house like in my case, or wherever you decide to put it. Just make sure you have enough space around it, because 72 inches are not a small space. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll see you just in a few seconds in your case, but in my case it will be quite a few minutes till I finish installing. Okay, so that's what's being replaced. I mean, it still kind of works, but 20 years are 20 years, and it's time for it to be replaced by something newer and more modern, so it makes more sense. And of course, the newer one is even more efficient. Even though it does more work, it does it more efficiently. So we'll take this one out of here, and we'll put the new ones. Okay, that's where I'm at right now. I'm not gonna cut these wires, they're very long. But if you're doing it like I'm doing, just the short 6-incher, I'm keeping them just wrapped here for now, because I might extend it later, I don't know. And just connect these 3 together here, this here. This is where the receiver is. This is our wires right here, and there's nothing else to do here. It is kind of done, and when it's all over, you just put this over. You're gonna see that in a minute, and that's perfect. So that's yeah, you need the bracket that comes with it. You need to put this one, because I forgot that's where the receiver goes in. So you just plug it from the side, as you see, like that, and it stays there. That's all, and it's all ready to go. I'm gonna close it up and show you when it's actually completely finished. Okay, so we are in the dark right now, and I'm gonna turn it on really quick. And here we are. Boom! Ooh, that's actually a lot of light. And these things, these blades are really, really huge. Look at that. And you can change the light right here. I'm not sure if you can see it. You can change the color of the light, and then you turn it off again. I'm not going to do that. And then of course you can lower and increase the light with these buttons here. As you see, I'm at max. I can lower it. Not sure if the camera is picking, but it's actually dimming it. But I'm gonna put it back up and high again because it actually looks really cool. And here you have the timers. Let me block the light real quick. You have 1 hour, 4 hours. Switch the direction of the spin up to 8 hours, and these are the speeds 1 to 6. Turn on and off right there, and that's it. But let me put it on 1 really quick. You'll hear a tiny click there. I don't think the camera caught it good, but it's starting to spin now. Boom, just like that. And this thing, let me tell you, it blows a lot of air. And this is just on level 1. Just 1. Not 2, not 5, just level 1. And I can literally feel the air here. And I am probably, I would say, 7 to 8 feet away from the fan in the other side of the room. And of course, you can go 2, 3, 4. Let me go 4. That you'll see the speed ramping up really quick. Look at that. Right now, literally feels like there's an AC blowing. And no, the AC is actually turned off. There's nothing else blowing but this fan. It is... wow, where has it been my entire life? That is my question. And let me stop it really quick. Just give it a second to stop, because of course it's 72 inches. It's not gonna stop in a dime like the other tiny little fans that you might have, or like I used to have. And I'm gonna wait for it to stop really quick. The reason I'm stopping is just to show you these pads that I installed here, like kind of filter pad for the air or something like that. And here's how the installation looks now. I have the light on, so, but it's actually a really beautiful fan. All the blades were installed like this, as you see. They look really beautiful. They have that wood design or coloring. Look at that, really nice. And yeah, there is 7 blades on this big boy here, so they're actually quite light. I was surprised on that, so yeah. And with that said, I just hope you learned something on this video and you liked anything on this video. And hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. If you mind, well, that's fine. Thank you for watching. Link will be down in the description. It will be an affiliate link between me and Amazon and not me and this fan. And we'll see you next time. Bye!